Aloha, welcome to BeaDazzle Hawaii. Today I'm going to show you a lotus flower with a teardrop earring. And you'll notice in our samples, the first set we did was spring colors. We did that in the beginning of the year. It's very casual, summery. And today I made a more dramatic color, and I think it's a little fancier with the crystal rondelle. It's a 3mm rondelle just to finish off the top of the teardrop, so it makes it a little more fancy, maybe for the evening wear. So the first thing I did was take a 2.5-inch ball head pin. And I use a long one, even though I'm going to cut it down because the larger ones have a larger ball so that my teardrop doesn't slide down over it. Then I strung that gold 3mm rondelle, and for contrast I used an opaque 2x AB crystal on top, and that's a 3mm crystal also. I'm going to use my 3-step plier. It's my favorite tool to make wrapped loops. Bring it down over the top of the crystals and open the jaw and then close it right down so that it bends at a right angle over the top. And when it bends, it leaves a little bit of a neck so that we can wrap it. Put it back into the plier. Bring over the loose end right over about halfway. Then I readjust my plier to the top of that bend and roll. I grip it pretty firmly and I roll it down and around so that the loose end crisscrosses the neck, and I have my loop. Now I always rock it back and forth a little to make sure my loop is centered over the top of the crystals. Then I use a bent nose plier to grasp the loop. It's actually at this point often you'll have to attach your wire to your finding, but this one the bottom of the lotus is open, so I'm going to add it afterwards. So I'll show you how I do this. I grasp the loop with the back of my bent nose plier, get a good firm grip. I use my chain nose plier to start the wrap. The second one I do very close to the first one. It's easier to straighten out when they're close together to start. And I've done 3 wraps around. And I'm going to clip it. Very close. And to finish that wrap, make it nice and straight, I use the front part of my crimping tool. Get in there very gently, just squeeze the wraps, and that helps straighten out the wraps and pushes that little bit of a tab of the loose wire up against the neck. So there's your nice crystal drop. Then I'm going to attach it to my finding, and this one is finished on both sides, so I want it to go in the opposite direction of the first one I made. And I'm going to check where my AB finish is because I want that in the front too. So I'm just going to adjust that and then add it around. There's my drop. The second part is the small accent crystal at the top, and I've picked another opaque color, 2 times AB, with more of the blue that's in the AB finish on the other 2 pieces. And so once again, I'm using my 3-step exactly the same way, pressing down to make a right angle bend, pushing that wire across the top, repositioning, and then twisting, rocking back and forth to get it centered. Holding with my pliers. Wrapping. This one's 2 times around. And these are wire nippers. They're very sharp. Gets in close. Then I check to make sure everything's even. And I do want this crystal to be in front of the finding, so I'm adding it to the ear wire first. Drop it down, and then check the direction of my finding, and I'm adding it again to sit behind the crystal. And my pliers to close up the ear wire. There's your Lotus teardrop earring. You can get these findings in gold and silver at BeaDazzle Hawaii. Thank you.